Hello guys, Fish767 here. So today we are taking a look at an Izzet budget combo, and this is under the radar. Now if you don't want it to be Izzet, you can do Azurius. Azurius is just a little bit different, and it's actually likely just a tad more reliable. Of course, you do have to have a way to win if you're going to play Azurius, so I'm not quite sure how you're going to do that, but you can get infinite life in Azurius. Or you could just play red, white, and blue, and that's probably the best way to do it, because then you can get as much combo out of it. But the main piece of this combo is this card right here called Ornithopter. It's a 0-drop, 0-2 flyer, and it's colorless. So what are we going to do with this Ornithopter? Well, we're going to cast it an infinite number of times. How are we going to do that? Well, that's quite easy. Not that card. We're going to use Nettledrone. And what it says is it's a 3-drop, 3/1 Eldrazi Devoid. You can tap it, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you untap it. And so, we're going to tap this an infinite number of times to return Ornithopter to hand by using Retraction Helix. Or there's another card, I forget the name of it, but you can go on the Gatherer and look it up, it's also blue. But what Retraction Helix says is you pay blue, and it's an instant, and then until end of turn, target creature gains tap, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So we're going to tap the Nettledrone, return the Ornithopter to its owner's hand, and then we're going to cast it again. That's going to untap the Nettledrone, and then we're just going to tap it again and return the Ornithopter to hand and cast the Ornithopter again, and we can do that as many times as we want. So if you have a second Nettledrone down, you can tap it to deal damage to each opponent, or you can use a card such as Impact Tremors or Molten Nursery, which is the example I'm using. But it's a 3-drop enchantment Devoid. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Now, of course, Impact Tremors will do it much more efficiently. And like I said, you can use Azurius to do this by using Midnight Guard, which is a 3-drop creature that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you untap it. And so you just replace Nettledrone with Midnight Guard. And using a Johnny's Welcome, you can gain infinite life. So I'm sure that there's other things that you can do. I know that there's a 5-drop enchantment, Angelic Chorus or whatever, that would gain you 2 life every time Ornithopter entered the battlefield. But that's a bit expensive. You could use it's not Worship. It's the it's a white enchantment. It's a 4-drop white enchantment. I think it might be 5-drop. But it says every time a creature, it's Martyr's Bond. So you can play Martyr's Bond, and then each time that you return the Ornithopter to its owner's hand, your opponent sacrifices a creature, and that's in white. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. It's just that instant win is in red most of the time. And so this is just it's a really under the radar combo. Not many people are looking for this. Not many people expect this. It'll only work once, of course, but it'll work once on every single person that you play unless somebody else is watching. And it's a very difficult combo to deal with due to the fact that you can do this at, well, you can't do it all at instant speed, but you can do part of it at instant speed, at least. And the Retraction Helix can be used for other things if you need to, and if you're going to build a deck around this, obviously Card Drop would be very good, and since you're playing red, I would assume that you're playing red, because that would probably be the best thing to do, but you're either playing red and white, or red, white, and blue, or you're playing red and blue, or you might be doing just white and blue, which is a bit weird, but no matter whatever color combination you're playing, you're going to have removal. Red has obviously damage removal, and white has pure removal with enchantments and other things. And blue can counter things and bounce things, so you could be playing a control deck with this as your win con, which is very, very under the radar. And in addition, it is easy to destroy when you're doing it, but you can arrange all the pieces at once and do it one turn after you play your Nettledrone or your Midnight Guard or whatever it may be. You could also put this into a recursion deck if you wanted to, and you could try to do that there. There's a couple different ways that you could, like a Graveyard recursion deck, there's a couple different ways that you could do that. It would be a little bit more complicated, obviously, but you still could. I'm not going to go into details about how to do that. I'm sure that you can figure that out yourself. It would be very complicated, though. But, yeah, you could just return the Ornithopter an infinite number of times, which, it's not extremely hard to do, it just really is. You'd have to have, basically you'd have to return the Ornithopter to hand and then recast it again, and then be able to sack it again and then return it to hand, which isn't hard, but it's hard, because you'd have to untap your sack outlet, or whatever it may be, or whatever's returning it to hand, you'd have to untap, so is more complicated. But yeah, so you could definitely run this. And it's very cheap too, because the Ornithopters are like 20 cents maybe, and the Nettle Drone's sitting at a quarter, I think, and Molten Nursery might be a little bit more, but you can get Impact Tremors or anything else. There's basically substitute Molten Nursery with anything that deals damage whenever a creature enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield. There's Outpost Siege, that'll do it. Impact Tremors, Molten Nursery, Volcanic Eruption, no. It's something, it's a 6-drop red enchantment. There's plenty of different things that you can do to do this. You could run black, white, and blue if you wanted to, actually, and not run red, and just do Sanguine Bond with the Johnny's Pride, or the Johnny's Life Gain, whatever. And so you could run Esper Control with this, and that would probably be your most effective way to do it, but it would take the longest out of all the different combinations and be the most expensive. So it's just a little neat combo that I thought I'd show you guys. It's pretty much self-contained. I mean, you do need at least 2 Nettle Drone or a Molten Nursery and 1 Nettle Drone. So it's not impossible, but you do have to hit at least 1 Ornithopter, one of these, and then a Retraction Helix. Or there's another one. It's not called Retraction Helix. I forget what it's called, but you could run that one instead too. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and Discord link is in the description if you do want to join. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all later.